What's a quick way to mix up cement, mortar, cement, sand? I'm going to show you a quick trick, especially if you're doing something at home. Do that look. Here I've got sand, you can see. There's different types of sand you can use. This is building sand. There's little bits of grit in there if you look carefully. Like there's little stones in there. It depends what you're using it for. I'm filling gaps in patio paving. So let me show you how you can easily mix this up to fill those gaps. Now first I've got sand. I store my cement in plastic buckets. Once I open the packet it's easier to store. So this is cement in a bucket. I've got one empty bucket. So right now if you look at the colour, look at the colour of that. That's sand. We want mixed sand. Look at the colour of that. That's cement. Now what we're going to do in the empty bucket, we want to mix, maybe we'll mix half and half. So if I go 1 scoop sand, 1 scoop cement, 1 scoop, not kind of full, but 1 scoop sand, 1 scoop cement, 1 scoop sand, that was not a full scoop, and cement. You'll notice I'm not putting all the sand in first and then the cement. I'm putting one and all the other because there you've got layers. One, that wasn't a full scoop. One, 2, 3, that's 4, about 5. Okay, this is where the magic happens. Let me just close these lids out of the way. You ready for the magic? You put the lid on. You hold the bucket. Is that less effort or more effort than mixing it together? We'll find out. Okay, did that work? Look at that. So you look at the consistency of that now. There's still little bits, but for the effort, that's a nicer mix. So now it's more of a grey colour incorporating the sand. It's not the sand colour. If you go back, you can see that was a sand colour. That was a sand colour. But now look, we're more like that. So we've got a nice mix going. That's the easiest way to mix cement. The more cement you put in there, the stronger it will be. Cement on its own is not very strong, so you need to put sand in there, and that's what gives it its like strength. So it combines with the sand to make a nice. Let's go right to the bottom. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Look at that. That's incorporated quite well. So now it'll be a simple case of brushing this into my patio gaps. Dry mix. I made a separate video about how to stop weeds growing in your patios. You'll notice this bucket, I've been using this for about 5 years. I keep using the same bucket over and over again. It gives me the right amount of ratio to mix this up, and you can use this for different types of things. If you're building a wall, do 5 sand to 1 cement. If you want a stronger mix, then like what I did here, basically I put more cement than I did sand, so I've got more of a grey mix. See that? You can see that grey mix. If I did like a less of a mix, let's put less of that, it'll be more of a different colour. It'll be like an orangey colour. See how that orangey colour is there? But hopefully that gives you an idea. Shouldn't be using my hands, should be using a bag, but I wash my hands quickly because cement dries your hands out very quickly. So wear gloves, and let me give you a close up of this so you can see what I'm talking about. There you go. See that? That's like a good mix ratio. When originally sand was that colour on the floor there, and the cement was that colour, so we've got a halfway ground. So you can see here there's not been any water introduced into my dry mix. So how is it that there's dampness? If you walk around you'll see all the joints that are filled up with the dry mix is now changed colour. So you'll notice dry cement is not this colour, sand cement mix. So you'll see here now, if I push, that is like actually becoming cement. So the moral here is the dry mix method does work because there is enough moisture in the ground and the atmosphere for this to dry. So over time it will slowly soak up moisture from the air and this will become very solid and firm. Here's one in the shadow. You can see a little bit better maybe. So there's not been any water introduced here. This is the color of dry cement, so you'll see that there. I need to pick up some of this stuff, but you'll notice there it's drawing up moisture from the ground, so it's doing its job, curing, easy, effective, it doesn't make a mess. Hopefully this helps you. Check out the other video in the series and I'll see you in the next one.